Hey everyone, this is Cynthia of Cynthia Plans, and I'm coming to you with a video for Friday, which is planner related, but not a plan with me. I'm going to be talking about my preferred planner supplies and things that I feel like are crucial to my planning system, particularly now that I'm using a ring system, that I wanted to share with you all some of my favorite pens and everything like that. So I am going to just introduce some of these products, share them with you in the hopes that if you're in the market for something new or you haven't found something, you have a need and you haven't quite identified what it is that's going to be able to address that need, then maybe some of the products here will inspire you. So with that, let's go ahead and just jump in. So the first product that I feel, if you're in a ring system, that is incredibly important, I'm just going to move this stuff over. Probably should have thought of this a little bit more strategically before I started filming, but would I be me if I didn't have my little hiccups along the way? So the thing that I feel like is most important is your paper. If you are in a ring system, it's important to have a paper that you like, that is nice quality if you're turning a bunch of pages and everything like that. So the paper I've got here, it's not going to really come through super great for you guys. Of course, as a YouTube video, you're not actually here feeling the paper. Is this Hammermill 32 pound copy paper, and it's their premium copy paper, so it feels really smooth, and when pens write on them, it writes very smoothly, and this is my preferred paper for my inserts. I like the 32 pound because it's a little bit heavier than the 28 pound, which is also very nice, but the 32 pound is just a little bit thicker, so you're hopefully not going to get quite as much shadowing and stuff like that on your pages, and it's just a little bit thicker of a paper type. That is a paper that I prefer, and what I've really been liking with this paper is the Pigma Micron PN pen, and let me see if I can bring this up. This pen you can get from Jet Pens, I'm pretty sure is where I got it from. I've also bought them at stationery stores that are local to the area, so this is my preferred pen on these inserts. It's just, it writes really smoothly, there's not any smearing, which on this specific paper type you can get smearing, so I definitely like this one in that it writes on the paper super well and it gets absorbed right away. So I'm just going to go ahead and write something, so we'll write to-do list, and I just prefer how it is. If you go like this, you're not getting that smearing or anything like that, which is very, very nice. I feel like I had been using the Sharpie pen for quite a while, and it just comes off harsher to me for some reason. Just doesn't feel like it comes as nicely. Like, the difference is very minuscule. This one is slightly thinner, the tip over here. So I don't know, I just like how the Pigma Micron is writing a little bit better on this paper right now, and that's kind of what I'm into. But on the subject of pens, another pen that I really like to use is the Sakura Micro Perm, and I actually don't use this generally on this paper, though I suppose I could. What I like it for is vinyl stickers, so I'm going to grab a vinyl sticker really quick and show you what that looks like. This is a sticker from Libby & Co., which she has a very similar texture to the Christian Designs brand, and so if I write on her stickers, it'll come out smoothly and you won't get smearing or anything like that, which I really like. You'll see. Oh, actually I did get smearing there. In general, if you give it a go and you're not super, I think, I'm gonna be honest, I think the reason why it just smeared is because my hands are a little bit sweaty, which is probably TMI and gross, but this is the pen that I've enjoyed writing on these vinyl stickers with. Let's see, will you focus? There we go. That's the one that I like best right now. The other pen that I really like working with right now, and actually I shouldn't say right now, this is a pen that I've liked for quite a while, is the Tombow Calligraphy pen. Is another pen that I've really liked right now, and I like it for lettering. Writing Monday, for example, you kind of get that nice look of a brush pen, and it absorbs on this particular paper very nicely and comes through very saturated, so just depending on how hard or not you push down on the pen. So this is yet another pen that you can get on Jet Pens. Let me see if this will work. And I think the Sakura Micro Perm you can also get on Jet Pens, but I actually didn't buy it from Jet Pens. I actually bought it from Christian Designs website, so highly recommend those three pens for these papers that I write on. I tend to be kind of like a medium person when it comes to writing As far as pressure goes, I don't push down super hard, but I'm not super light-handed either, especially if I'm doing lettering like you saw here. I, will adjust as needed, but those are the pens that I'm liking best right now. In addition to pens, the other thing that I feel like has been super helpful for me is this Fiskars knife. I got this from a friend of mine who got it at an event and then destashed it because it wasn't super useful to her. So I like it when I'm laying washi down, which washi is definitely another essential for me. So I'm gonna put down a little bit of Simply Gilded washi right here. So I'll put this washi down, and then when I get to the point where I want to rip it off, I just kind of, lay it down here and pull, and it makes a clean cut. I was a little bit sloppy there. It cut at an angle, but if I'm being more disciplined and cut it straight, then you'll get a really clean straight line. If you want, you can also use this knife and put a little bit of pressure. You don't want to put too much that you rip through the paper, but if you put just enough, and sometimes you may have to go over a second time like I just did, if you start to pull at the washi, it'll actually give you that clean line. So you can kind of go back and correct yourself if you're not super neat with the line when you essentially make that first cut. The knife is very sharp, so it comes with this cap, and I highly recommend that you keep it on at all times. I would not suggest that you take it off or leave it uncapped for a period of time. I know I probably do it a lot in my Plan With Me's, but I do try to be responsible and diligent about putting it back on because you can poke yourself pretty good with it. The other thing that I enjoy is the Tombow permanent adhesive tape roller. I have used other brands before, and I know I featured them in my Plan With Me's. So let me find something. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't ever think I'll be able to get through all of these Infinite Lotus cards, so I'm gonna go ahead and just tape it. If you want to make a dashboard or something like that, or decorate, this is really useful if you're someone who's in inserts. So you just go ahead and put that on there. So you can definitely be more careful with getting the corners and stuff so corners don't pull up, but I definitely feel like adhesive tape, a tape roller, is essential in my planning system. The other thing that is very important for me, if you've watched my Plan With Me, is you know that I sometimes have to white out dates or white out information, so whiteout is essential for me. So I just use a very simple Bic roller of whiteout, and it is a little bit different. It's a little bit more of an off-white than the stark white of my paper on my inserts, but it usually doesn't bother me, and oftentimes I can usually cover it up with some washi or sticker or something like that, and it's really not a big deal. So that is another tool that I feel like is essential for my planning system. The other thing is if you want to cut a sticker, so sometimes, like let's say I wanted to cut this bow off, having a pair of small craft scissors, these ones are pretty sharp too. I do have to clean them. They're a little bit stuck from different sticky things that I've had to cut, all craft sticky things, but I definitely highly recommend getting a pair like this. You can easily keep it in a pencil bag or a pen bag like this, a case. It's very portable, and these are often what I bring to meetups and events. These I'm pretty sure are an approved size for travel, so whenever we do get to travel again, if you get a size like this, you can just go on the TSA's website and find out exactly what is considered approved or not, but I'm pretty sure this size I've traveled with before and it's okay to fly. The other thing, and this is a new thing in my planning system, I haven't used it a ton recently because it's very new to me, but I got this We Are Memory Keepers tool, and it allows you to make all sorts of line check marks. It can be a ruler, boxes, circles. So if you're a bullet journaler, or if you're like me and you have a Hobonichi and you're not really a true bullet journaler, but on occasion you find yourself making black and white to-do lists in a notebook of sorts, I thought this product was pretty cool and it's been helpful to me. I've definitely taken advantage of the stencil options within it to create different things. You can go ahead, and I haven't been quite successful with this yet. I need to practice a little bit more with it. You can definitely go ahead and make like a circle with it, so you can go ahead and do this, and there you go, you have a perfect circle. If you want, you can come, let me see, this should work that way. If you come and stay down, yeah, there we go. I must have messed up at some point. You can make a smaller circle. I know how to draw circles, I promise, and I know know how to make different shapes. There are these very convenient arrows, lines, and then of course boxes and circles. So I really like this stencil a lot so far. Like I said, you can also use it as a ruler to measure and make straight lines. This is pretty cool too. So if you want to make a box with angled edges, you can use this to connect, and that I think is pretty cool. So I could go ahead and make like a banner of sorts using this tool. And of course I'm doing this in pencil because then it doesn't have to be quite so permanent, and you can just go ahead and connect this over here. So you've got this different kind of shape here. So I think this has been a really cool tool that I haven't been using as much as I would like, but I definitely want to keep using it. Of course the pencil is also useful. This is a Rifle Paper Company pencil, but any pencil will do. And then lastly, the other product that I feel like has been really useful to me that I would recommend is a hole punch. So I've got this one from a Japanese brand. I bought it several years ago. I'm not sure of the name, and I really should have looked it up before I got on this video, but I'll do my best to link either this exact one or one that's very similar in the description of my video below. But I like this one because it does have all the different sizes. So let me see if I can bring this up. This outside spot over here is going to be A5, and it literally says that. And I've determined that if I move the mechanism to this line over here where it says A6, if I move it to this spot over here on either side, that's the A6 size. And then they've got different measurements over here too. I'm not sure of all of them right now, but A6 and A5 are the ones that I've used the most in this planning system. So I definitely recommend getting a 6-hole punch for your planner system and getting one that is good quality. You can get some of the cheaper ones, but especially if you're trying to punch through dashboards or dividers or things that are pretty firm and thick in plastic, it can be a little bit hard to get it to punch all the way through and not damage the hole punch either. So I recommend investing in something that's a little bit nice quality. This one is metal, which I like about it. I don't know that all of them are. I know a couple people have the Rapesco, which I think the mechanism itself is metal, but maybe the actual, this part, the punch part on top is plastic maybe. Don't quote me on that. I feel like that's a friend of mine who has one. I feel like that's what hers is, but I like that this one is entirely metal for all of the different pieces. So that's what I would recommend in your planning system if you are getting into inserts or you're kind of new into planners and you're like, okay, I know the stickers, I know the washi, I've got a pen, like what other products would you recommend to make your planning a little bit more efficient or to get it to be exactly what it is that you like? And actually a bonus item that I'm going to show really quickly is a paper cutter. So this is a Fiskars paper cutter. It's pretty big. I highly recommend something like this. It just makes cutting your inserts, if you are going to be cutting your inserts by hand, that's very noble of you and definitely something that can be done, but it can be a bit time consuming. So I highly recommend getting a paper cutter, and then it just makes your process a little bit faster and more efficient. So I will show you very quickly. If you've never used one before, you just unlock it, get your paper in there, line it up to the spot where you want to cut it, use this part, cut away any of the excess and toss it or recycle it, whatever your situation is. And I like this one. It does have a lock, so this mechanism doesn't go flying. The blades are really easy to replace as well. You can just purchase them. Usually at Michael's is where I get mine, or if I'm in a pinch and I can't get out somewhere, then I might buy them on Amazon, but I try to buy from Michael's when I can. So I highly recommend getting one of these. This is the one that I've purchased. It's not maybe the best one on the market, but it does the job and it's not super expensive. It does also have this extended ruler, which is not working with me right now, but it does have it here, so you can measure out a little bit further. And I think no, I don't think this has a spot to save blades. I think it's just this. But I've had this one for years. It's always done me well. I just replace the blades when they get dull and it does the job. And you can usually cut through with the Hammer Mill 32-pound paper. I can usually cut through maybe, I would say no more than 3 pages at a time. If you start to cut more than that, then it can get a little bit rough on the edges. So I wouldn't recommend doing more than 3 pages at a time for this paperweight. But If you're cutting a thinner copy paper or something like that has a thinner, or excuse me, smaller paper weight, then I would go ahead and you can probably cut, 5 or 6, probably at least double what you cut for this copy paper, which is a little bit thicker and is a more premium quality. So that's probably the last item that I would highly recommend you have in your planning system to keep you, like I said, efficient. If you are like, oh, I'm tired of cutting washi with a credit card, which, nothing wrong with that. I've definitely done that when I don't have my knife or something like that. Then I would recommend investing in a knife or something like that. If you are, tired of having to try and draw lines, getting something with a stencil, whether it's actually just a stencil. There's so many great Etsy shops out there for bullet journalers in particular that offer really awesome stencils. Some of them even you can get like custom things and customize what you would need so you don't have excess things that wouldn't be useful to you. But I highly recommend that you just do some searching for different products that are out there. Jet pens, I mentioned a few times already, is a really great resource for different pens, especially pens that are not easily found in the average stationery store because they are from overseas or whatever it might be. You can most of the time buy them one at a time, so you can buy one pen and kind of test it out and see how it goes for you and then go from there. So if you do decide you like it, then you can buy more. If you decide, oh, that really isn't for me, then you only bought the one pen, you didn't have to buy a whole pen pack. With that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you back next week on Tuesday for my regularly scheduled Plan With Me. Have an excellent weekend, and I will see you all soon.